About 25. Good fish.
Alright, it's Saturday, April the 2nd, and I'm currently on my way to go try for that bird I roosted last night. So I'm hurrying up down this road. There's one other guy coming to hunt this morning who's also in the camp, and me and him talked last night a little bit, and he is not, he's going to be going to a completely different area, so we're not going to bump into each other or anything, but I might end up seeing him in just a second on the road. I might talk to him for a minute, but I'm just going to keep on slipping down here to where I want to start, and hopefully get there in enough time before daylight to make something happen. Alright, well, I snuck down here where I thought the turkey was. Did not hear him on the limb. He's on the ground now. He's over here in this bottom, probably 250 yards away. And I'm debating on whether I should set up in this little field or if I should drop off on this side of the ridge and kind of call behind me and see if he'll come that way. Those geese have been annoying all morning. It'd be a little better if they made them gobble, but they didn't. But I'm gonna figure something out. Just sit down real quick. Alright. Try to get them to gobble one more time before I make a decision now. Decided that he is still up on that other ridge, so I'm gonna drop over here and get in the bottom as best as I can. And I'm gonna try to scratch and make it sound like I'm a turkey. I'll be the first to say that I screwed up. Those tops that are downed, I ranged him at 43. And when he popped his head up those 2 times when I could have shot him without the camera being on him, he was there at probably 45, 46. But that ridge is a little bit more flat than I anticipated. And after he popped his head up those 2 times, he started to walk backwards. And he gained an extra 15, 20 yards from that little pile of logs. So when he popped out, I thought he was just going to be right there at 45, 46. Turned out I ranged it from where I saw his tracks to here, and it was 65 to the camera, which is way too far. Way too far for my gun. I'm glad that he flew off, for sure. I went and looked and tried to see if I could hear any flapping or anything, just in case, but I didn't. But I'm about to go look a little bit more, just so I can feel a little bit better about cleanly missing him. But that's just a bad situation in general. I'm glad that certainly glad that I didn't hit him and him take off, because that would have been extremely bad. Having to look out here in this stuff for him. But I'm about to just go look for him some more. Glad that I cleanly missed him. I wish I could go back and not pull the trigger and just have known that he was a little bit further than I thought. But maybe I should have done what I said, just taken the GoPro on my camera and slipped up to there without the big camera. Probably could have killed him a little bit easier, but I made a lot of racket getting up there, so it would have been difficult. Could have, should have, would have, but that's not what happened. Anyways, I'm gonna try to load some of this, or not load, but make sure I got everything, and I'm gonna take off down this hill and try to look for that turkey a little bit more. Well, it's about 11 o'clock. I went back to the cabin and ate a bite, drank a bunch of water, filled up my Camelback, shed the layers because it was 44 this morning and now it's almost 70 degrees. But it's 11. I'm gonna stay out all afternoon, try to strike one up. But it's cloudy right now. Very light breeze, probably 2 or 3 miles an hour. So should still be able to hear pretty well. And you know, if we come across some birds, shouldn't be a problem figuring out where they are, as long as they're willing to gobble a little bit. But I'm just gonna be walking and calling, and might stop at a couple places to sit down for a while, 20, 30, 40 minutes, just to sit down and take a break and call in one spot for a while. But everything's starting to get green, and you have some good cover walking on the top of these hardwood ridges, just because they can't see you 200 yards away if they're in the bottom. But I'm just going to be slipping as best I can down this road, and then I'll connect to that power line where I walked the other day. But I'm just going to take it slow and see what happens. since. But I moved my setup from the other side of this field to this side so we can look down that road, because you might end up coming down that. There's a Y down there that splits. You might end up coming straight down the road. But I'm just going to be here, be a little bit patient, just in case he does come. But I'm just going to chill out for a little bit, see if he gobbles again, and if he's not getting any closer, I might try to make him move on. But I definitely don't want to go towards him right now, just in case he is coming and just isn't gobbling back. So I'm going to sit tight and calm a little bit, keep this a little soft, and then hopefully he gobbles again. Okay, little update. I just made him gobble again. There's two of them. They do sound like they're going to be coming down this road, which would be pretty nice just for the fact that I get to be able to film them pretty nice. They do come. They're a lot closer. Sounds like they're coming pretty good. There they are. I've got to say, you know, good Lord bless me with the opportunity to shoot this big old sucker. I'll say that, yeah, especially after the miss this morning, just to be able to come back out here and strike one up right at 5, probably 5:30, 5:40, and to kill him at 5:50. Good Lord bless me, being in the right spot at the right time for sure. But yeah, this field. I shot a turkey here, I think 2 years ago now. The first one I shot with my gun, my Super Black Eagle 3, and it happened the exact same way, like I was telling my dad. I came here at 3 in the afternoon, 3:30, and called and struck them up right on that same road that these two came from, and they did the same thing. They both sets of turkeys walked down the road and came into the field. For these turkeys, because I had the camera, I decided to kind of sit over here in the thicket, a little bitty briar patch, with the camera. Camera kind of hiding most of my body, but it was perfect because I was able to see them crossing each road behind that big pine right there at the fork in the road. Was able to film them the whole way down here. I wish I would have left the camera zoomed in, kind of right here at the mouth of the food plot, because they sat there for a good minute, and I really couldn't move and zoom in on the camera, but I should have left it zoomed in just enough. But once that one turkey got to the side of this food plot where I had been calling earlier, my vision of him got blocked and his of mine got blocked, so I was able to kind of move the camera just enough to zoom in on the strutter, and my plan all along was to shoot the strutter if I could, and it worked out, and I'm glad it did, because he's a pretty nice bird. But you know, once I got the camera moved on him, I slowly put my hand back down on my gun, and I tried to call, maybe see if they'd gobble, but he didn't gobble, which is fine by me. But he lifted his head out of strut just enough, and pulled the trigger. I'm very excited to finally have one on film as best as I could. First one on film professionally, for sure, with a good camcorder. But just a beautiful bird, and I've also never shot two in back-to-back days. So I've killed one this year on April 1st and April 2nd. And speaking of that, last year, me and my buddy doubled up at his deer camp. First time I've ever doubled up in my life, but we did that 1 year ago today, April 2nd, at his camp. And it's a great time of the year, middle of the season here in Mississippi. This guy, he's probably going to hit 20 or 21. He's a big bird, and these spurs are real nice too. Good beard on him, and just an overall beautiful, beautiful bird. You can see it in the video, but that one, yeah, that pine right there, that's the one that they went behind, coming from this other road that I'll show you. but I could barely see them pass through on the viewfinder. They came down this road, kind of walked in the woods behind that pine over in here. Probably sat there and strutted for a little bit, but you could see the food plot from here. I was sitting on the right side of that food plot in that corner right over there, but when I turned my head, I knew that they were on this road, so I turned my head to try to throw my voice or throw the calls kind of back, because the road keeps on going through the food plot. I tried to throw my calls far enough back there where they'd be inclined to get into the food plot, where I might actually be able to shoot them, and it worked, thank goodness, because it would have been torture to look through that look through the camera and just see them sitting on this road, just strutting and drumming, and it would have just been miserable. But fun afternoon hunt, very exciting and successful. People have said it before, but I mean, the ultimate goal of hunting is to kill a bird. That's the greatest success, but at the same time, just coming out here, being able to listen to them and learn. I don't care how long you've been hunting, there's always more to learn, and there's always something that'll happen that's never happened to you before. I think that's why hunting turkeys is so appealing, but for me, I love it all. But it's always nice, though, when you are coming out a couple pounds heavier, like I said yesterday too. But it's sure been a fun one. I'm going to get back to the cabin as fast as I can. It's about 1.5 miles, but I'm gonna get to the cabin as fast as I can, and I'm actually gonna be able to make my little cousin's birthday party now, if I can get everything packed up in a timely manner. So I'm just gonna kind of put the camera away and try to get on out of here. But I sure do appreciate anybody watching this. If and when it becomes a YouTube video, I'm gonna definitely have to hone my editing skills, but I'm sure excited to have it on film and see what happens. But that's it for this week. 2 birds back to back. Great weekend, and I think next weekend I'm going to be going to a buddy's camp that I've never actually been to or hunted before. So it'll definitely be a fun experience to be somewhere new, and also try to call in some birds for him. And that way I'll be able to strictly film. I'll be able to just strictly film and have only one focus, and that's carrying around the camera and making sure it gets on video. So, but definitely excited to be hunting with him this next weekend. But for now my weekend is over. At this point, I'm gonna have to go home and work on more schoolwork. It's pretty boring unless you're watching Pennon. Dr. Pennon, if you're watching, your class is the best, and it's totally not boring. And I'm so excited to work on your papers when I get home. But other than that, it's been a great weekend, and I cannot complain. So I'm gonna just put the camera up and go double time and try to get out of here. So thank y'all for watching. I wanted to say thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, Every little interaction helps the channel tremendously. Also, if you have other social platforms like Instagram, check the link in the descriptions. You'll be able to find my personal and my channel's Instagrams. Other than that, I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.